All right, I'm Len Breen. Len is short for Leonard. I grew up with a name I didn't care much for, Leonard. I was the only Leonard I knew, and I didn't really appreciate Leonard until I was about the 5th grade, and I noticed that one of the cartoon strips in our paper that we got every day, the Longview Daily News, had a cartoon or a comic strip by a fellow named Leonard something. So I thought, well, at least there's one other one in the world, and that kind of legitimized Leonard. Then somewhere around middle school or so, we ran into Leonardo da Vinci, and I thought that was so cool. I couldn't understand. So I started calling myself Leonardo, and my parents were kind of lukewarm about that. Then I got a job after high school graduation as a chemical assistant in a laboratory in a paper mill across the river. And the secretary there called me Lenny. I didn't think there was anything worse than Leonard. It is Lenny. So I'm Len. And as Carla mentioned, I teach at Sam Houston State University. I do undergraduate and graduate courses. I spend most of my time anymore with master's students and doctoral level students. We have a fairly new doctoral program. Sometime today, ask me about our online master's program. If any of you are interested in master's courses at SAM, we've got the whole program online anymore. You don't even have to leave Wichita Falls to get a master's degree at Sam Houston State University. There's something wrong with that, too. But that's the modern age we live in. I'm glad to be here again. How many of you were here a couple years ago when I was here? You guys can leave early today. There's only about 3 new things today, and you probably have heard everything else. And so when it starts being redundant and overlap, feel free to pack up your bags and go. Pardon? Oh, yeah, that's of course if you do leave. Okay. And you didn't get a door prize, and here you are back. And she's going to take this thing till she gets a door prize. Elementary people. How many of you are elementary folks? 1 through 6. I'm not sure how to define elementary anymore. Our certification program has been changed by the state legislature. Thank you, state legislators. 3 times in the last 5 years. And so when I certify an elementary teacher, I'm not sure anymore what I certify her for. Is it K through 4? Is it 1 through 6? Is it? I still think in terms of kindergarten teachers being kindergarten through 6th grade. Middle school people or junior high, any of you? Okay. And teaching areas. I know there's one history teacher here. What's your teaching field? Another history teacher. Okay. And secondary people. Cool. That's good. And probably representing an array of folks. Secondary, probably English teachers. Any English? History? Home ec? I wouldn't have thought so. Coaches and kines? Okay. One kines, 2 kines. Kind of an array of secondary school. I'm glad I'm not a secondary principal. I don't know if it's possible to do that job. Up on 3rd floor, they claim they train people to do that job, but I think it's a lie. I don't know that there's anybody who can do that short of a CEO from General Motors or somebody. And I admire the secondary folks for coming to an NIE workshop. I've been doing this off and on for quite a while, and don't do it very regularly anymore, about once or twice, and I do a lot of newspaper kinds of stuff with my students in many of my classes. I teach reading methods primarily, train reading teachers and language arts teachers for elementary and middle schools, and I do a secondary reading course, and I'm doing one this fall, and they've given me the toughest group of students. I generally get along pretty good with the high school folks, and we have a lot of fun with the reading and the content field kinds of courses. 2 of the groups of students that they seem to have difficulty with are the kinesiology majors and the music majors. And both of them ask a real important question up front. Why do I need to take this course? I'm not going to be reading a whole lot in my class. What's in it for me? And so they're a real tough sell. The other kind of students kind of see the application very early on and get into it pretty good. So this fall, I've got a class of 45 music majors in reading in the content areas. I'm looking forward to that with fear and trembling. We have a lot of fun with it. Music literacy, I think, is just really terrific. I think the gal who's got the tough job is the one who's got the 45 kinesiology majors. I think that's a harder concept to sell to the kines people than it is to the music people. I think it's kind of easy to sell it to the music people. So I don't envy her job either. But maybe you can get an idea to take to your colleagues. One of the objectives today, a couple of objectives today. One of the objectives is to get to know the people who are at your table with you. Are you at tables with folks you know? If not, I'm going to give you 1 minute. Everybody's got a doodah, paper plate, and a person who's in the middle seat is in charge of this activity. And one of the things to do is put your name on this paper plate and get the names of the other 2 people who are sitting with you. Okay? Find out what grade level they teach. Oh, and you are allowed to either join one of these groups or turn around and join this group. Yeah, you can just turn around if you want. What grade level do they teach? If they're a secondary major, what's their teaching field? And if anybody doesn't have a plate, let me know. I've got plenty of plates. Yeah. One objective is by the end of the day, you'll know the 2 people you're sitting with. Somehow or another, I'll try to figure out a test for this. Okay, everybody knows 2 friends or loved ones that you didn't know a minute ago. Second objective. Everybody needs to learn one strategy today to take back to your classroom this fall. At least one. Some of you will learn 2. But everybody is supposed to leave with at least one new idea. If we get into this afternoon and you still haven't got an idea to take back to your classroom that you didn't already know, see me. I'll make something up for you. Everybody's got to leave with an idea to take back to your classroom to use with newspaper and news media kinds of materials in your classroom.